What's going on, guys? Nick here, bringing you a brand new cryptocurrency video. In this video, I want to give you a technical update on the current standpoint of Bitcoin and where I personally think the price is heading, and give you a view at some patterns that I'm currently looking at, as well as talk about what's been going on here in the news and media, revolving around cryptocurrency. So real quick, let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market cap as we do as usual. $562 billion market cap. The highest I saw this market cap go up to was, I believe, around $800 billion. Bitcoin dominance 34%. Bitcoin currently trading at 11.4 thousand. Ethereum still over $1,000. Ripple $1.50. And overall, we are seeing some consolidation today. Everything down almost double-digit percent, 5, 8%, 4%, 3%. Just numbers like that. Yesterday we pretty much saw everything up about 40% here on CoinMarketCap. Some coins weren't actually up 40%. They were technically up 40% from the bottom to the perfect top, which I don't assume that everyone did that perfect trade. So technically they were up 40% on the day at one point, but yesterday was a complete green day for the cryptocurrency market cap, and today most coins are in the red. I'll give you guys an update on my cryptocurrency altcoin portfolio soon, probably in tomorrow's video, showing you what coins I'm buying and stuff like that. But real quick, let's take a look here at Bitcoin, because a lot of people are starting to get worried because this chart, technically speaking, it can be looked at as very bearish. We hit our all-time high up here of $20,000. We had our huge pullback down to 10K, which happened in just a matter of a few days. We had our bounce up to 17,000, which was a lower high compared to 20,000. And recently we saw another dump. We saw another flush out to $9,000, which is a lower high compared to $10,000. So as of right now, the trend is definitely against us. Bitcoin is technically setting lower lows and lower highs, and it's you can consider it consolidation, but we had a few chances recently to break out of this trend. This was a pattern that a lot of people were looking at. Everyone was going to say, this is when the breakout was going to happen. It was this equilibrium pattern right here. We bounced around in here for a little bit, for about 2 weeks or so, a week or 2 weeks, and we broke bearish out of it. I usually like to say that 70% of the time it breaks bullish out of these, triangles, and 30% of the time it dumps out of it. And we definitely dumped out of it this time. Let me delete these real quick. And like I said, I'm not affected personally. I'm not, going to sell my long-term holdings here based off what this Bitcoin chart is looking at. We also saw people like to call it a death cross here on these two blue lines. These are two different moving averages. You can see in the past how effective they are when they cross. For example, there was a cross right here, which indicated, tons of bullish movement. But as of right now, we just got a bearish cross. So who knows? This can definitely continue. We could see some more, prolonged consolidation. Let's zoom in to get a little bit more detail. On the 1 hour chart, this is a pattern that I'm looking at. Just for reference here, this is our bottom as of right now, $9,000. I do think this is going to be the bottom. I don't think we're going to go lower. If we do dump from $11,000, I hope it to be a double bottom. That's really what I'm looking at. I personally don't think Bitcoin's going lower than $9,000. This was a pretty textbook flush. We saw our volume climax here, as you can see, huge candlesticks, and we bounced out of it. And this is a head and shoulders pattern that I'm currently looking at. Now, it's not textbook. It's not 100% textbook, but as you can see, they do look pretty similar. We have our key baseline of support. Let me get my horizontal line. You could say our baseline is currently right here, or you could also say we have another one, right here. Or you could even say that we just simply have a kind of a uptrend here, because sometimes in these head and shoulders you can consider it an uptrend, head and shoulders, just like that. And we have our shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder. As you can see, very textbook. And usually these break bearish. As soon as it breaks line this basis, as soon as it breaks the baseline of support, most of the time we flush out and we head to a lower low, because once it breaks these supports, really our next support is only $9,000 on the more technical standpoint. Also $9,800, but as long as the price, bounces around here and it doesn't go lower than $9,000, I would be perfectly happy with that. We would definitely see some nice follow through, considering that would be a double bottom on the very long-term standpoint. But keep in mind, Bitcoin is the honey badger of money, right? Sometimes these technical indicators don't work out perfectly. This is not financial advice or anything. I'm just giving you my look on it. I'm not trying to be trying to spread FUD or anything, but I'm just trying to look at it technically and look at, what's most likely to happen. Here in the media, a lot of bad news about Bitcoin with the whole financial regulation coming into the cryptocurrency space. And this article surprised me. I looked up on Google, and this was one of the top articles from theweek.com. It says The End of Bitcoin, published by Jeff Spross, and this just made me laugh because Bitcoin has had it went up over 2,000% last year, and back in 2013, 2012, when that was technically the best buying opportunity ever since the China bubble back in like 2012 when it hit $900. It was at like $200, and there were articles like this saying, Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is over, it's time to move on, why cryptocurrency didn't work. And I haven't seen an article like this in quite a while saying the end of Bitcoin or Bitcoin is dying, because it hasn't. And most of the time these articles come out, it usually represents the perfect bottom to buy Bitcoin, and it usually does the exact opposite of what the media is doing. In this article, I'll just read a few lines here real quick. The Bitcoin boom may be over, and the death of cryptocurrency craze may well become at the hands of government regulators. Earlier this week, Bloomberg reported that Chinese authorities plan to block domestic access to central cryptocurrency trading platforms and related services. Is this bubble really bursting? Only time will tell, but if China and other governments really do crack on cryptocurrencies, it's hard to see much of a future for Bitcoin. And this is what really made me frustrated with this article, is that it seems like since I've been in crypto, Bitcoin has been banned a dozen times. And I know that people who've been in cryptocurrency for a year plus know exactly what I'm talking about, because we always hear, Bitcoin's going to get regulated. The government's going to, ban Bitcoin, and that'll be the end of it. But you can't do that. You really can't. Obviously, you can do it, but the people who want Bitcoin, the people who use the technology, will always find a way. That's the thing about it. And I really, it says China's government actually already banned official cryptocurrency exchanges last year, which is exactly what I was talking about. What's new is a potential crackdown on unofficial home ground trading and offshore trading as well. I don't see anything that's wrong with that. If there's illegal trading, something against the law, do it. But I don't think that's going to affect Bitcoin in the long term. Also, this article here from Pacific Standard, another one, why Bitcoin value could eventually approach zero. And I read through this article. I pretty much read the entire thing. And it's really just talking about energy and how it's, traditional currencies work better with less energy. As you can see, energy, lower energy, lowest energy cost. So really this article is just talking about how the energy cost and mining process of Bitcoin is very expensive, which could be a valid argument, but I don't think that'll send Bitcoin's value to zero. So short term, we could see another flush out. It's definitely very possible, but long term, I am not worried. And I want to do a reference to this, a time back in, this was a few months ago. This was quite a while when Bitcoin hit an all-time high of, there we go, of $3,000. Let me go back to that moment. So just for reference, I got into cryptocurrency right here. This was December of 2016. Ever since I bought my first Bitcoin, I really did get perfect timing. I bought in at literally one of the best times ever since this huge bull run. We've seen this entire big Bitcoin bull run. I bought my first Bitcoin. I'm not saying I bought all of my Bitcoin at this price, but I bought my first Bitcoin at about $700 to $800. I went through this whole China market bubble here, and keep in mind these were big moves. As you can see, it just doesn't look big compared to this huge recent bull run we saw. Huge uptrend, hit our all-time high of $3,000, and this was when I thought Bitcoin was doomed. Okay, this was actually pretty concerning to me. We hit our all-time high of $3,000, pulled back down to $2,000. This was in the matter of about 3 days. Bounced up, and then we hit this low of $1,800. The value almost got cut in half, 50%. We broke this huge support of 1.9K. We broke support here of $2,000. As you can see, this wick pretty much obliterated all support. And this chart did not look good. The only thing that looked good about it was that the RSI was oversold. And little did I know, a few days later, it bounced right back up. And that was the start of, a huge bull run. A crazy market that I've been a part of. And it's kind of reminding me of what's going on now. We broke some big support here with these wicks, but all it takes is something positive to happen, right? Or, Bitcoin gets accepted here, something like that. There's no Bitcoin company. Anyone could write a bad article about Bitcoin. Anyone could write a good article about Bitcoin. The news and media affect Bitcoin to a very large standpoint, especially with the fact that there's a lot of uneducated people in these markets. That's why there's such big volatility. So, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. That's what my thoughts are on what's going on right now. These wicks don't really look too good. Pretty much just inside bars here. So I'm really looking for either, maybe a short-term pullback out of this head and shoulders pattern that I drew, or this could be looked at as a equilibrium pattern. You could even draw something like this, just a simple triangle pattern. You could even draw something like that. Obviously, it's not showing like it's not looking too good, but it's possible that we do break out as well. So I'm not a financial advisor. Take it for what it is. Just want to give you guys my views on the market. So with that said, let's give away $100 worth of Bitcoin. Every single day, I do this giveaway. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed, and turn on post notifications on this YouTube channel, and leave your Bitcoin address down below in the comments. Not on Twitter, not on Instagram. Leave it in the YouTube comments, and you have a chance to win $100 worth of Bitcoin. I finally brought the giveaway back. So the random winner here of my first Bitcoin giveaway in a few days is Henry DTG. What is the minimum payout on both platforms? Did I see 500 or am I wrong? So what if you invest 200? So this is Henry asked this question about Hashflare and CCG mining. On CCG mining, you get paid out once a month, and as far as I know, I haven't done so yet. You can withdraw that principal. On Hashflare, they had a pretty expensive withdrawal limit of about $500, but recently they withdrew that limit because of the Bitcoin fees. The network was getting too clogged up. It was too expensive, so they made the limit very high. But since the network is cooled down, I'm pretty sure they lowered withdrawal limits. So you can withdraw, I believe, as little as you want. Just be prepared to pay about, maybe a few bucks in fees, probably. Just a small amount of your earnings. So good question. Thanks to him for asking that question. Let's send him $100 worth of Bitcoin. Congrats to him for winning the giveaway. Like I said, guys, just do those 3 steps and leave your Bitcoin address down below in the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.